I've just bought some new art supplies. Hark at me doing an unboxing video. Just like the cool kids. Come and have a look. Okay, this exciting little package has come to me all the way from South Australia from one of my YouTube friends. And I'll put the links to her channel in the description below. And she's a bit of a kindred spirit because she loves purple as much as me. And look, she's wrapped every little thing all so beautifully. Thank you, Connie. I will enjoy these. These are my paints. I'm very excited to see those. And the other thing I've got in here, oh, with a little handwritten note. You know, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? How lovely. Okay. Let's have a look. I almost don't want to unwrap it because it's so beautifully wrapped. See, we all love washi tape, don't we? Now this, I happen to know, obviously because I ordered it, is a handmade watercolour journal. Oh, I do feel bad tearing the paper. Don't be mad with me, Connie. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that? Gorgeous texture. And this is perfect watercolour paper for me. When I saw this little book and these paints, a new project was forming in my head. So I can't wait to share that with you. Let's open these little handmade paints. Isn't Connie clever? So she's made her own handmade paints. And one of the things I loved about them was the names she gave them, because they got me thinking. And actually, when I was a little girl, one of the things I wanted to be was the person who names nail polish. Oh, she's even given me an extra one. Oh, thank you, Connie. Look, fairy dust, pixie dust, sprite dust, and brownie dust. Now, who doesn't want to paint with cute little names like that? How beautiful. So what I thought I would do is use these paints and this little book to create a brand new series. Let's start. I always find the best thing to do with brand new paints is obviously to do a bit of a test page. So I keep those scrap bits of paper that I cut off my watercolour sheets that I've cut down to test out the colours, just so you kind of know what you're working with. And it did make me very excited to draw and paint with them. And the colours have got such gorgeous names. They're things like fairy dust and brownie dust and pixie dust. So what I wanted to draw straight away was some sort of little fairy person. That seemed so fitting because it's in this tiny, tiny little sketchbook. So I have started with a little fairy girl there, drawn in my pencil, and then chosen the absolute finest pen that I've got, because obviously you can't really afford to have great big thick dark pen lines when you've got a tiny little drawing, otherwise you lose all the details. And I opted not to use the black one. I thought she's a fairy, so she may as well be blue. And I couldn't wait to put all those beautiful metallic sparkly paints all over her. So she's definitely got sparkly shiny hair, and I couldn't resist that gorgeous purple. I rather liked putting in the matte and the metallic paints together, because when it came to her face, I obviously didn't want metallics in there, and I did want to quickly put in a bit of a flesh tone. So in my regular palette, I've got a Naples red yellow that I tend to use as a sort of base flesh tone colour for her. And so I popped that in and gave her some little rosy cheeks, also with normal watercolour paint that isn't metallic. And then the trick for me is to be patient, because that's one of my biggest challenges, because I wanted to give a little bit more detail to her eyes. But you certainly don't want to go in and do that with your pen while the paint is still wet, because it will smudge horribly. So I just about managed that, and so enjoyed doing the details that I couldn't resist getting out my coloured pencils and putting in one or two little extra bits of shadow around her face and that, but when you're working so tiny, you've got to be a little bit careful about putting in too much. And very bravely, I couldn't resist trying to put a glint in her eyes, and I did find a white pen that was small enough. And I'm hoping you can see that beautiful sparkles. I really don't think the camera does them justice, but Connie has sent me the most beautiful metallic paints, and I'm so glad I bought them. I rather wish I'd bought the bigger the bigger tin. But they're so much fun, and I can't wait to draw a few more. Hope you enjoyed watching.